Hello again, YouTube. Welcome back to my channel. I'm McPato, and this is McPato PC. And we're gonna start it off here with week 3, so episode 3 of the weekly Sqeaky Bits, my version of weekly tech news. These are just some items that I've come across during the week that I think you might find interesting. So we're gonna jump right in with the first story, and it is an AMD story. Specifically, we're looking here at performance benchmarks that are showing very positive opinions and a very positive outlook for AMD's upcoming Raven Ridge APUs. For those of you that are not aware, what an APU is both the processor with a video or graphics component on one chip, so you don't have to go out and buy a video card separately. These are practical and handy in laptops primarily, but someone who doesn't play a ton of games or who plays very low demanding games, this is a great product for people like that. Saves you on price. It can save you in terms of your battery life in your laptop. It can save you, in terms of space. It can be a lot smaller. You're able to fit the same components in a much smaller space. So jumping into the article here, with AMD is promising the Ryzen Mobile Raven Ridge parts will deliver on performance while maintaining low TDP and price point. So they're saying here that a 50% increase in CPU performance, 40% more GPU performance, and all that while using 50% less power when compared to the previous APUs from AMD. So the chips they're looking at here in particular are the Ryzen 5 2500U and the Ryzen 5 2700U. And these are supposed to use Vega 8 and Vega 10 graphics respectively. So that's sounding good. They're saying in Geekbench there's a 37% increase on single core performance with the Ryzen 5 2500 APU. And that's compared to AMD's previous 7th generation A12 9800. So they're saying it performs 98% better as well in multi-core testing against that same A12 9800. So it's not a very long article, so again it's in the description, but all that to say, with the Vega graphics and the Ryzen technology with the Infinity Fabric, it all kind of works together, and it's bringing a lot of positivity and a lot of hope for mobile computing. So for example, AMD will be able to perform much better in laptops as opposed to an Intel chip with an integrated graphics, or low-end graphics solution in a laptop. So they're promising, or they're suggesting, much better battery life, less heat probably, better performance compared to previous generation. So a lot of improvements here. We're gonna have to stay tuned to see how it all plays out, but overall this is looking pretty encouraging on the AMD side of things. And they're saying you're going to start to see these come out in the first half of 2018. I'm sure I'll have more on this particular topic looking forward between now and the release date, but just to let you guys know, if you're in the market in the next couple months for a laptop and you're not a hardcore gamer but you want something that's pretty capable, this looks like a great option. Moving on to our next story. iOS 11 has been released. It came out on September 19th. Apple is focusing apparently on productivity in this release. Apparently they started beta testing on iOS 11 back in June, and it was public beta testing. It came out on September 19th with support apparently for anyone using an iPhone 5S and up. So 5S, 6, 6S Plus, 7, 8, 8 Plus, and of course iPhone 10 will have it installed already. So yeah, also it's going to be available for iPad Air, iPad Air 2, and the iPad Mini 2 through 4. So that's good. And of course the iPhone 8 is releasing tomorrow, so lots of people are going to be using this version of iOS, I'm sure. Okay, moving on to our next story. It is a rumor, so we're going to touch on this quickly. A lot of rumors going around lately that Nvidia might release a GTX 1070 Ti. I don't think so. And this is based on an image that's come out somewhere in Asia. There's a picture of what looks like a screenshot that seems to indicate a test was run using GTX 1070 Ti. I don't see it. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'd give this rumor less than a 24% chance of being possible. Pascal is doing great already. The Pascal architecture. They've already said they're not releasing Vega this year, or sorry, Volta. Pardon me. Nvidia is not releasing Volta until 2018, at least in the consumer market. So you already got the 1060, 1070, that's probably their best seller, the 1080, the 1080 Ti, and then the Titan cards. I don't see a slot where the 1070 Ti would fit. And to be honest, price-wise, here in Canada, you're still paying between $530 and $600 for a GTX 1070. And you can buy a 1080 for $640 to like $790, $850, depending on the model. So that covers everything from $530 to almost $850. It's already covered. I don't see where you'd fit in 1070 Ti, unless you got rid of the 1070 or really dropped it down in price and got rid of the 1060. I don't know. But anyway, lots of rumors floating around. I don't see it happening. I'll keep you guys, of course, posted if anything more credible comes out. But as of right now, strictly a rumor. That's my opinion. Moving on to Nintendo news. 2 stories for Nintendo today. Essentially, the first one is that the Super NES Classic Edition is coming out soon. The release date for North America is September 29th, 2017. We have an Australian release date of September 30th, 2017, and a release in Japan of October 5th, 2017. So, just in time for Christmas or the holiday season. This little console is expected to come out with 2 controllers and 21 titles preloaded, including Contra 3, Super Mario World, The Legend of Zelda, A Link to the Past, and Star Fox 2, which never actually came out for the original SNES. But it was apparently completely finished and ready to launch. They just never did launch it. So, this leads us to the second story with Nintendo, and that is the production of the SNES Classic has had to be dramatically increased as a result of the, shall we say, unanticipated high volume sales of the first NES Classic that came out earlier this year. So I think the price for the SNES Classic is going to be $80 as compared to the $60 of the original Nintendo Entertainment System Classic that came out earlier. The news there is that basically they sold out instantly with the first version, and they've promised they're going to go back and they're going to make a ton more of these, and they're going to bring the NES Classic back for a second wave. I wouldn't expect that until next year, but if you want one, maybe, you know, Christmas, a birthday, something coming up, and you really want an NES Classic to go along with your SNES Classic, which they're saying will be much more available because of what they learned from the first debacle. So hopefully you can get an SNES Classic, and if you really want the NES Classic, just wait a few months, maybe 6 months. I'm not sure exactly when it's coming out, but it is coming back. Okay, so you'll be able to buy a shiny new one in the store. You don't have to go to eBay or somewhere else. Hold on, it'll come out, it'll be a reasonable price, and it will have the same great features, and you'll be able to add that to your collection of classic Nintendo. Alright, so moving on. A few weeks ago I brought you a story on a Cooler Master case. This week I bring you a story on a Thermaltake case, and folks, this is the case that I would want for myself. In fact, I want to buy it. I've got it in my cart on Amazon, but because I live in the near Arctic here in Canada, and that's not even a joke, I live about 18 hours north of Edmonton in Alberta, so if you're not familiar, check it out. Pretty far north. Amazon won't ship it here because it's too heavy and it would cost too much money. So even with my Hot Prime, can't get stuff sometimes shipped up here. So that's kind of a bummer, but definitely this is the case I'm going to be buying for my next build. Comes in two varieties. One has just two blue fans included, two blue LED fans, and another version comes with three of the Thermaltake RGB ring fans. Alright, so this case to me has everything. It's got, and I'll of course put a picture of it here, video on, or yeah, I guess a video of the actual case. You should be seeing that now. So as you can see, it's got glass on the sides, the top, and the front. There's exceptional airflow. There's unbelievable radiator support. So just so you guys know, I'm planning a build. Not exactly sure when, but probably I'm going to build a Threadripper or an X299 computer. And I want to go ahead and build myself the very first custom loop I've ever attempted. So this case offers ample room for custom water cooling loops. It's got huge support for radiators. It supports massive motherboards. EATX motherboards are supported. Basically everything you could want. The back supports up to 6 SATA SSD drives, or 3.5 inch drives. I mean, it's got huge support for everything, and to me it looks amazing. It came out a couple of weeks ago. The reviews have been outstanding, and the price is actually really reasonable. Here in Canada, you can get the blue fan version for $219 on Amazon, and the RGB version is only $229, and you can get it with Prime shipping. So to me, for the price, it stands out definitely. You know, I was looking at some Lian Li cases and a couple other premium brands, and really I would rather this hands down when compared to cases that are $600. So I mean, they've done an excellent job with it. This will absolutely be my next case. I'll have to wait till I take a trip down south to pick it up, but if you guys are in the market for a case, I highly recommend you look at this one. So I'll put links in the description below that you can go to for US and Canada to take a look at that case, the Thermaltake View 71 Tempered Glass Edition. That's the full name. So if you're interested in that, check it out. I couldn't find the RGB version of the case on Amazon US, but if you are in Canada, I have found that. So definitely take a look, find out what you like more, and if you want to pick one up, I would appreciate if you did it through that link. I get a small percentage back to myself here. If you don't want to support my channel, that's fine too. Definitely check out your local stores or eBay. I've seen it on eBay, so a couple options for you there. Alright guys, thanks for tuning in for Weekly Sqeaky Bits number 3, and I'm having a lot of fun here with this weekly segment, so definitely hope to see you guys again. For now, that'll be it, so I'll say good night, and we'll see you guys next time.